everybody that these hostile actions occurred to unarmed civilian ships from over 40 countries around the world, endangering lives. Despite this reckless aggression, the flotilla remains undeterred and continues with its course of action. As we gather here right now, the flotilla's current position is right past 120 nautical mile mark. So we expect that Israel will begin to enforce its illegal blockade very soon. And so this is a critical time that we meet here. We're going to hear firsthand accounts from participants aboard both of the boats that encountered Israeli aggression. And then we will hear from legal experts and analysis, followed by closing remarks and opening it up to questions and answers from people that are listening. So I'm going to go ahead and start by introducing Tiago Avila, who is the Global Sumud Flotilla Steering Committee member who's on board the Alma. And then we will hear from Lisa Proenka, who is also a participant on board the Cyrus. And we will proceed to the rest of the program. So to kick us off, Tiago, I'm going to go over to you. I don't know if I can see your screen, but I believe you are here. So if you're here, yes, thank you, Tiago. If you could please go ahead and brief us about the situation, specifically the firsthand account on the boat.
Thank you so much, Hazani. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well. Thank you, Tiago.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for coming to this press conference. We unfortunately have another attack to report against our flotilla. This was an intimidatory attack, but also that had elements of a cyber attack and electronic warfare against our boats, the Alma and the Cyrus. This attack started around 5 a.m. Gaza time, which means 2 a.m. UTC time, and it had the presence first of more than one military vessel in the nearby region, and with suspicious behavior coming close to our flotilla. Then this first military vessel disappeared, and then a second military vessel appeared right at the bow of our ship, the Alma, almost crashed our boat, so we had to do an evasive maneuver not to crash the boat, and started circling our boat and doing not only the intimidatory attack, but also the electronic and cyber warfare against our boat. Immediately disabled all of our navigation devices, all of our communication devices, disabled the cameras, disabled the internet, disabled the VHF, the radio channel, disabled a few other electronic devices, and was circling our boat in a very intimidatory way. We thought we were actually being intercepted, like we've been intercepted in other missions to break the siege of Gaza and Jordan. But this boat kept circling our boat for 6 minutes. Our team were prepared to deal as it was an interception, so to remain nonviolent, to de-escalate and take care of ourselves. And we're trying to share that information to the world, but we had no communication systems available to do that. And we were dealing with the situation that this boat was a very hard way for us to deal in navigation-wise. So the risk of crashing the boat was very big. And then after 6 minutes circling our boat with all of our teams at maximum alert level for an interception or an attack, the boat changed course and went Sirius, which is the second boat of our boat. And when it came to Sirius, started doing the very same thing. First, a very dangerous maneuver in front of the bow of the boat that by a miracle didn't crash the boat as well, and then started circling the boat for a longer time, for around 15 minutes, until it finally crashed and disappeared. After daylight, assessing the situation, we had no structural damage to any of the boats. We have no one wounded in this situation, but we had quite a lot of mechanical and electronic failures on our boat that we still didn't manage to fix. We are still sailing towards Gaza. We are advancing every minute. We advance a little more, but we have a lot of electronic issues right now to deal after this electronic cyber attack against our flotilla. We understood from Israeli media reports, from the statements from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Israel, that they were preparing to commit this war crime. They were preparing to commit this new violation, which means to stop a humanitarian mission to get to Gaza. They are prohibited to do that. They're prohibited to case of the fights up against the state for the crime of genocide, and they are still to not abide by it. And others, the fourth attack that our mission suffers, we suffered 2 consecutive attacks when we were in Tunisian territorial waters. We suffered another attack which affected 14 of our boats, 11 of them with explosive devices in international waters when we were getting close to Greece. And now, when we're getting closer and closer to Gaza, to Palestine, Palestinian territorial waters, we just suffered another attack. It was a territorial attack and a cyber electronic warfare attack against our boat, which is proceeding again in a legal mission, which is non-violent, with a solidarity mission. So we continue proceeding to Gaza. After that, we simply took our flotilla, trying to
Tiago, unfortunately, we are losing you a little bit, and your audio is slightly choppy, which makes quite some sense given your location. Tiago, I don't know if you can hear me. I believe his internet is a little too choppy. We're going to try to communicate with him on our end and just make sure that he knows that we cannot hear him. Tiago, if you can hear me, you broke up a little bit there. Maybe if you could try to remove your headphones. But I just wanted to iterate some of the points that Tiago was making for those that couldn't hear him well. He was talking about the psychological warfare and the naval fleet of Israel cycling around the ships, disabling internet devices, which impacted live streams and the cameras, also jamming the communication systems that allowed the ships to relay emergency messages to the world, and also impacted navigation, putting the flotilla at maximum level of alert. After the initial engagement with the Alma, the boat went off to the Cyrus, another boat in the flotilla. And while the Alma did not endure any structural damage, it did endure ongoing mechanical and electronic issues that continue with the boat. And so as we now unfortunately couldn't hear the rest of Tiago's comments, he was articulating that this was articulated already by Israel as a form of an attempt to deter them from continuing on to the coastline of Gaza. However, they are determined to continue and will continue. But just to acknowledge this pattern of violation of international waters. With that, I am going to, unless we have Tiago back in a more clear way, I'm going to go ahead and continue to Lisi Proenka, who is a participant on board the Cyrus, who was the second ship that encountered the intervention from the Israeli naval ship. Go ahead, Lisi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. I'm not used to press conference or to talking like that, so I'm just gonna try and go step by step on what happened to the night yesterday. Thank you all for being here. I was actually on guard. My night watch was from 1:30 to 3:30. We all rotate night watches here to keep an eye on everything. And then we heard about 2 vessels unidentified in the flotilla, like they were close to our boat and everything. So we began our protocol for preparing for an attack or interception or someone coming to us, we don't know. And then we were on high alert for quite a while. Everybody in position. This means we put on our life jackets and stay in position and keep watching the sky, keep watching the sea to check for boats approaching. And then we heard and we saw that the boats were going far away. They left. So we decreased our alert levels and everybody went back to resting or started to move. And then it's when we found out that the cameras from Alma were gone. And that for us is someone messing with our communication. That means they are probably close. So we put the high alert back again. Then everybody assumed positions. And like, at the moment we went outside, I could already see their boats coming straight to us. And we are used to the vessels of the flotilla. They are quite slow, but these boats were really fast. And as Thiago was saying, they came in the front of Sirius. And yeah, it was like a big mess, but it didn't hit our boat, but it came really close. And then they were circling Sirius boat. They did this, and they jammed our communications. We didn't have any internet or the cameras anymore. And it went on for like 15, a little more minutes. And the people on the starboard side of Sirius, which is, if you're inside the boat facing to the front, it is to the right. Saw a light coming from the water, like from down under the water. So probably a submarine or something like that. I was on the other side, so we didn't see this side of the boat, and the light coming from the water. And this went on for quite a while. We could see them up in the boat with something pointing at the sky. Some people were a little bit scared about that also. And we were like with our hands up, and I was like trying to move my finger really apart from each other, like to show that I had nothing in my hands. This is also our protocol, to show that we are a nonviolent mission trying to carry humanitarian aid to starving people. That's what we are doing. And it's important to us to show it to them and to show it to the world watching, that's what we are doing. So we assume positions, thing like that. For me, I felt like everybody was like, we do those drills so much that everybody was really knowing what to do and how to behave. So it made me feel really, really safe and